Alliance. He is the beast from Hollywood East, Michael the Hammer Mulligan.
What's up, my brother?
What's up, Hammer?
Hey, folks, Michael the Hammer Mulligan here. Got my new shirt, the Hammer, aka from my boy Eric Mulligan. Got me that for Christmas.
That's awesome.
Kind of cool. Got my boy Michael Lobo Gresh over here.
What's up, guys?
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year!
Yeah.
How was your Christmas?
Very nice.
Dude, I got spoiled this year.
Did you?
I did, dude. I can't believe it. I actually have more stuff under the tree than the kids. This is the first year that
be spoiled.
Well, usually it's all about the kids, but some years I think it's because of my new fiance, Marie, hooked me up. She got me a bunch of stuff.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Good for you. Nice girls you got there.
She's a doll.
Good girl,
She's
pretty
a doll.
girl too.
She's smoking, dude. That's what you're looking at. I'm 50. I'm almost 50 years old. Starting to lose my hair pretty good. I got an island, I heard.
Mike, you know.
I know. That's all right. I've been checking out yours for 30 years, so I'll put a sock in it. Jesus, you know.
Oh boy.
My woman from. So, anyways,
Right.
listen. The new year is upon us. We had a great year. I didn't do as many videos as I wanted because I was slammed. I built a lot of houses, customs. Just, you know,
Awesome.
spec houses. I got 3 more I'm starting that'll be ready in the spring. So I had a lot of time that I wasn't able to put into this. I also, because I moved last year at this time, I moved into this house and I didn't have a fireplace in the house. So we got the addition built on the back of the house. The windows just went in.
Yeah, it looks nice.
The floors going in, you know, the electrical, everything. So within another few weeks, it should be all set, ready to do some new Fireside videos. That will be the Fireside studio.
That's awesome. Looks nice.
Yeah, and being that me and Mike are like, what, a half a mile away?
Yeah, it took me literally a whole 2 minutes to get here.
You'll be seeing a lot more of this guy's head on the show.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
sorry,
sheesh.
guys.
Oh, sheesh. So anyways, tell me what we got going for January. Let's start with the first month of the year. It's fun-filled.
Well, we got a busy month ahead of us, Mike. We first got January 24th. We have CES at Twin Rivers, which always puts on an awesome show.
The 24th of January.
24th of January, Friday night, Jimmy Birchfield Promotions puts on CES, and there's some, I don't know the whole card yet, of course, because it's, you know, beginning of January, things change, but I know some of the people fighting on that card. I know Big John Johnson's fighting on that card.
Who they got for him?
We got a kid named William Baptiste.
Did they have to bring him in from another country as well?
They have to bring him in from another location, because John's one of those guys very hard to find fights for. And
now keep in mind, Johnny Johnson is one of the trainers to the stars around here. He's a great Muay Thai trainer. So the other heavyweights that you hear us talk about, you know, Christian, Banana, a couple other ones out there, he actually trains them. So obviously they're not going to put them together.
And Josh Diekman also trains with
Josh
us. Josh
Diekman trains with him. Tyler King trains with him.
Yep.
You know.
So it's hard, you know, sometimes friends got to fight, but, you know, this is what it is. And he's fighting William Baptiste. I know he's a pretty tough opponent. We also have Rob Font's fighting again too. I don't know.
He's a busy kid.
Busy kid.
Extremely good too. He's just so fun to watch. What's he, lightweight? What's his weight?
Featherweight, 145.
Featherweight.
One of the best in. I mean, he's ranked top 2 in the Northeast right now.
I went up to Twin Rivers and watched him in not his last one, the one before, and I was just amazed at how fast these little fellas move.
Kid's nasty.
Yep.
And he's gonna fight. I don't know his opponent yet. But it could be a kid from the Bomb Squad. I'm not too sure.
Bomb Squad, New
yeah,
York.
Don't quote me on that right now. I know we also have Dennis Sweetbread Piver.
Sweetbread.
Sweetbread.
Is that because he's a Portuguese?
He's a Portuguese. He sure is. And he's a solid kid. And
Dennis, bring me the kale soup.
Yeah, he's you know what I mean. He's really making some headway with us down here at CCFA.
Yep.
And trains with Keith Allen too. JKD guy from Rhode Island.
How many different guys did you corner this year that came from other schools?
I really can't even count right off the top of my head.
I think about that line. I mean, it's like you are CCFA, Sit Your Tongue, and Daniel Gracie Academy down Cape. Those are basically your primary schools.
And
but
sometimes for South Shore sport fighting, I do a lot of work with Bill Mahoney.
well,
too,
right, exactly. But I guess
primary schools,
primary schools. But then those are all like sister schools.
Right.
But I mean, the different people that you corner from these different schools, it amazes me how many people's corners you end up in.
Sometimes I go to the fights and a kid doesn't have a corner too. I'd always help a kid like that. Always help. Try to help a kid like that.
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't even know how many corners I cornered last year. I don't really keep count either, you know what I mean? When we're on a roll, we're on a roll. Yeah. We started out in a nice, at CCFA, we just won one of our girls just won her first Muay Thai fight in Rhode Island. Sarah Click.
Yeah.
So now we're moving right along to that, and to go back to CES, I'm just trying to think of the people fighting.
Yep.
I know Dennis is supposed to be fighting Franklin Isabel, very dangerous jiu-jitsu practitioner from, I believe, White Crew.
Yep.
It's going to be a good fight for both guys. And Dennis is making unbelievable headway with us.
Good.
Todd Chattel's fighting, the Hulk. Todd Chattel. Yep. He's fighting, and...
They got him a fight this time, or...?
They got him a fight. I'm not sure who he's fighting. Like I said, it's early.
He doesn't. How come? It seems like that's the only person that he fights for. Why is that? I mean, is that the only?
I think CES. I don't know the real goings on with the company itself. Yeah. But I think they sign people to 2 or 3 fight deals.
It seems like his whole career. It seems like to me that he's
Dennis too. Dennis has fought many fights for them.
Is that okay? And this is just from me being helping Shane. Is that okay to do that, or is it that kind of stick you in a niche and not allow you to get out and?
It's a good question, because I can only answer it this way. The fighters that I've dealt with that have fought for CES love to fight for CES.
Right.
So if that says anything, that would tell me that they take care of their fighters pretty well. I've never heard anything bad about the promotion itself.
Well, now you know what I was thinking. Now, do these guys get to step up at all? But then we go to Howard.
John Howard won last night.
Right,
congratulations, Doomsday.
Congratulations, Doomsday. Yeah.
Nice fight, man.
Yeah. So he fought for CES. He went to fight for UFC. He went back down. He wasn't doing as well or whatever, so he went back down, fought for CES for a while, got some more wins under his belt. Now he's back up for 2 straight wins in the UFC.
Yeah, and he looked awesome last night.
And that was my question. I guess I answered it myself. If you stick yourself in that niche where you fight for just one venue, are you seen? Are you able to step up the ladder? But I guess that's
I always look at it like this. I think you're right, Mike. I think CES is probably Reality. Cage Titans, probably the premier, and I'm not bad-mouthing any other promotion.
No, I understand.
A lot of great fighters have come out of a lot of different promotions around here. CFX, Premier FC, Warrior Nation, NEF up in Maine. I'm probably missing a few AFO, but it seems like those 3 are the big ones right now. CES. Reality and Cage. Mike Povere puts on a beautiful show too.
I gotta get Mike in here. We'll see if I can't get him in next week to do one before the show.
He might know more about the card, because right after the CES show, 25th, we're at the Cage Titans show. We have 2 fighters on that.
At the hall, at Memorial Hall in Plymouth.
Memorial Hall in Plymouth.
Support your local fighter.
Yeah, and
if you want to go see a fight, go to the one on the 25th at Memorial Hall. Support your local fighters. Get a hold of us. And we'll tell you how to get a hold of the fighters, because the only way that these guys get any money out of this stuff is if they sell tickets. Right. You know what I mean? Some of the pros, they make a little money for doing the fight, win, lose, whatever. But your amateurs, your other guys, the only way that they get paid is and continue their career. This is how they pay to train and everything else, is by ticket sales. So make sure that if you do, I'm not trying to sell you tickets, but I'm saying if you are interested, if you're ever gonna go to a fight, please try to go through the fighters first.
Right. Exactly, Mike. That's we support your local fighter, of course, and your local promotion. We happen to be in Plymouth, Buzzards Bay, Bourne, the Cape Cod, Cage Titans. Mike puts a good show on, and it's kind of early to tell you who's On the card, but
Mike doesn't even print. The good thing about Mike is he doesn't print his card. A lot of venues will print the card. You'll get all pumped up for this card, and then half the fights on there. Because this is a very hard sport to predict what's going to happen. Because these guys train their hearts out to get into the cage to work for you, and they get hurt. It happens all the time. You know, they blow a back out, they blow a knee, they get cut. It's tough. Yeah, it's a tough sport.
We're not stuffing mattresses down here, bro.
We're not stuffing it with money, listen.
Yeah. So I know we have Razzle Dazzle fighting on that card. I think Mike's having a 125 tourney. Okay, and we got Banana.
All right, and we got Banana and Razzle are fighting on the Cage Titan card.
That's right, correct. Yeah.
So anyway, so Razzle Dazzle and Banana are both going to be on the Cage Titan cards on the 25th of January in Plymouth.
Yes, and they're bringing in a guy named John Orr for Banana. He's 6'6". This guy's from Kansas City, Missouri. Tough guy. Fought Cole Conrad for 3 rounds in Bellator to a decision. Wow. So he's 6'6". Records mean nothing sometimes. This is a tough guy.
How old is this cat? 6'6".
Jeez, I'm not sure. I would say he's probably 31.
And what's his name? Orr?
John Orr. O-R-R. And he's from Kansas City, Missouri, and he's a very tough customer. So
that's where they make Pace.
Tecate?
Tecate sauce. Hey, from New York City.
Yeah, right. No, great test for Banana Hammer.
Yeah.
Great test. And there's another kid on the card that I know they're trying to get on. I hope he's on it. Kyle. I hope I'm saying his name right. Bosniak. And he's a tough kid.
No, where's he from?
He's from Carlson Grace. He's from South Boston. He trains under one of my friends, Steve Bakari.
Yep.
Steve Bakari's an awesome boxing coach and a jiu-jitsu guy. Yeah, different people, but I've known Steve for many years, and he's a top MMA trainer.
I must be hungry.
You hungry? We could eat.
We can eat.
But
you smell it cooking?
Yeah, this kid's good.
Saying cook in the kitchen, cooking up some meals.
I can smell it, man. Maybe I'll stay. But he fought Max Barrett. One of our kids fought this kid.
Yep.
Max fights at 135, taking nothing away from Kyle, but I guess Kyle's opponent backed out the last Cage Titans, and Max's opponent backed out. So Max went up and fought this kid 2 divisions.
Yeah,
and it was a good fight.
That was a good fight. I mean, Max, for what it was, Max did really well, but there's no way he could surmount that mountain.
That kid was tough.
Yeah, he was a good fighter.
And he was a big kid.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So he's supposed to be on the card.
Really
and he's supposed to be an up-and-coming kid at 155, and I'm looking forward to seeing what Steve and Red Velvet, who's the head trainer down at Carlson Gracie, John Clark, can do with this kid. Good school, good trainers, tough kid. I wish we knew a little more about the card, but that's all I really know about it right now, Mike.
That's okay. Well, we'll have Mike in next week. Hopefully, I'll get a hold of him tonight and see if I can't get him in next. See what he's got brewing. But keep in mind, we're never going to know the card until the night before because too many guys just get hurt, bail out. He puts on 20. He starts with 20 and whittles it down as people fall off for one reason or another. But yeah.
And then the 31st, the week after that. Cage Titans.
Yep.
We got the combat zone with your son, the future, to fight a tough kid from Team Link.
Dude, you know where we're fighting?
Yeah, at Rockingham Park.
We're fighting in the same place that I fought my first fight.
Oh, you fought there?
Yeah, that's
right over the border.
Yeah, that's where I went.
It's a nice place. I've been there. Yeah.
Shane, this will be when my first fight. The guy bailed. You guys have probably all heard the story. The guy didn't fight. He didn't show up for the fight. He came. He weighed in. He met me and said, "Forget this. I'm going home." And then never showed up. I'm sitting there getting my hands wrapped. His wife, Jeanette, was wrapping my hands, getting ready for the fight. I get one hand right, and Joe Cuff from Reality Fighting walks in and goes, "It's off." The guy quit. So now I'm pissed. I'm like, I was whittled down to 263 pounds of freaking I was ready. And there was nobody there. So I was kind of left hanging, literally. And then, so I went online and I said, "We'll fight anyone, anywhere, anytime."
Did too.
And I did. So we got the call a couple days later from John Woo up there in Salem. And he said it was for blunt force trauma was the name of the competition. We went, he says, "Do you want to fight this weekend?" We had a guy, the guy dropped off was, I can't remember. I'll remember his name in a minute. But anyway, so we went all the way up there. Shane, Mike had another fight, so none of the guys could come from the school. Yeah. So Shane come up, cornered me, right? He was, I think, 13 at the time, and Seabass came up. He was one of the guys in the crowd. My fam come up and stuff, and yeah, I beat the guy. But it just comes around that this is where Shane is going to have his next fight.
Yeah, and this is going to be a great test for him. He's fighting a kid from Team Link. His name is Nick Alley. He's 1-1, and I watched him fight up at Calvin Cater. Calvin Cater, it's his show.
Yep.
Calvin Cater is one of the best 145s around, by the way. And puts an excellent promotion on it.
Nice.
And it was the kid's pretty tough, man.
Well, here's the thing. We wanted, now Shane is 2-0. So we didn't want to get Shane a 1-1 or a 1-0 or a losing opponent. We wanted to get him a winning opponent. Two things are going on with this. The one is the kid is 1-1, and we were kind of like, and then we went and we saw what happened. What happened was, is this kid was beating the crap out of his opponent, and he got on his back, and one of the rules of MMA is you cannot strike to, Mike, pull forward. If you took a cell phone and you ran it right here on the top of somebody's head, he's got a book. But if you took a cell phone and run it right here on the top of the head and down their spine, there's no striking in that area. So unfortunately, the kid struck him in the back of the head when he was on it, and the kid could not recover from that blow, so they had to stop the fight. So in all actuality, he would have won that fight had he not. So he is the equivalent. He is the equivalent, right? So he's the equivalent of a 2-0 fighter.
I was there.
He was beaten. And the kid, and from what I saw on the video, honestly, the kid couldn't come back. He could have come back. He was alert. He was awake. And he just said, I watched him say to the referee, what happens if I don't come back? You win. So he didn't come back. So it was kind of a,
he was, the kid, Nick Galley was winning the fight. That's all I can say.
Right. So he's a very tough opponent. Now, the next aspect of this is Shane's last fight, he weighed in at 182.
Oh, that's right.
With his clothes on.
Yeah.
Now, it's a 185 fight, so he's coming in the light. We actually fed him to get him to that point before he got on the scale because we didn't want him going too light. So he wants to fight people that he's comparable with. So even though he's won both of his fights and really dominated both of the fights at 185, he wants to slip down to 170. So Shane's working his heart off with Loco, with Pat, with Banana, with everybody at the schools, but he's also working with Mark Featherstone at Bulldog. What's
strength and condition?
Yeah, Bulldog. He's doing this with the Beast. He's doing his strength and conditioning work with him, and his diet has changed a lot. It's all egg whites and chicken and everything, and so he's really putting in a lot of extra effort to get down to that 170, so he can see how he does in that division.
Yeah, Mark now knows his stuff, and we use him a lot. He's a great strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah.
Just a little plug for Mark because he's a good guy, man, and a lot of guys have benefited from his training.
I started with Mark and with Shane and Eric with Mark. When Mark first started at the school at working out of Powerhouse Gym, I started to use him, and I think he might have had one other guy, but then we put his name out there on this show and throughout CCFA, and he's dominant now in the field in the area. Mark has at least 20 fighters that condition under him. They come from miles and miles around to get.
Yeah, he's good. If he wasn't good, he wouldn't get him.
Right, exactly.
So Combat Zone, January 31st, very busy month.
Salem, New Hampshire, right over the line, and yeah, it's a little ways away, but that's all right. It ain't about getting his, we're not trying to, sell 1 million tickets and get 1 million people there. This is a test for Shane. And the other thing is the amateur career, like Razzle is starting off, Ryan Kane, Razzle Dazzle, again back to the 23rd, is starting off with his first amateur fight. The key to the amateur fight thing in my eyes is it's like you get a do-over after this. So you want to stay as an amateur and do all this experimenting up and down in weight and everything else while you're an amateur. Because once you go pro, you can't take that loss away. But once you start as a pro, it wipes out your amateur record, and that's where you start. So this is your, get it right
testing grounds.
Exactly.
Testing the lab.
The lab. All right. So for the heavyweights in the area, we got Josh Diekman's working with Johnny. We already covered this once.
Greg Rebello.
Is a heavyweight now?
No. Diekman's working with Triforce, but he's also working with Greg Rebello and the guys from Tongue and Banana.
Right, and then you got Christian Moorcraft is working with you guys.
Christian's making a comeback with us.
He was with Shane doing conditioning today with Mark. Who else we got? Johnny Johnson
and Banana.
And that's it for the heavyweight division around here. I mean, there's a lot of other guys out there. You Tyler Kings, but these guys that we just mentioned are the dominant guys in the area. There was nobody that could touch any one of those guys. If they weren't all training together, they'd be fighting, and then it would be a war. But unfortunately, they're not gonna fight each other. So so we just gotta wait. That's why they're bringing the Orr guy in as an opponent from another state.
Banana,
yeah, because
and Johnny's opponent too.
Right, and Johnny's opponent's coming from another state too, because nobody around here is dumb enough to fight them. I guess I'll say. You know, they
got beat up.
Right, the ones that had the gall, the guts, the tenacity, and the confidence to step in the ring have already been taken out of the picture. So
the Eric Badads, those guys like that, you'll fight anybody.
Now, if I was in the picture, it'd be a whole different story, but I'm not, because I'm old. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
You are old.
I started with Mike training back in the gi again the other night, because I'm getting old here, and I'm starting to gain a few pounds. So we decided for my 50th birthday, I'm going to go down and compete at Naga in July. So Mike's going to take me. Two things I want. One is my blue belt. So I've done jiu-jitsu for a long time, but it's been sporadic, here and there for the last 10 years. So I've never gone up a belt because I'm never there long enough. You have to put your time in. So that's my goal, is to put my time in. So mark this date and see what happens in July. Because I should be stepping in for Naga to train. I'm going to go up against all the other big 300-pound guys and see how I do.
Good for you.
But you got to do something, man. If I don't have a goal, I can't get my butt out.
And you did a nice job the other night by, that's hard to put that gi on and get right back into it and do those warm-ups and then start rolling. I got some big kids down there if you're rolling, and you did a nice job.
Yeah, it was fun.
I tell you, if you suck, believe me.
Seabass is good. I like Seabass. He learned a lot because he's been around for years too.
Sticking with it, man.
He is. He just lost. What did he lose? Like a whole ton of weight.
Yeah, he's going to be competing at Naga the 25th too.
And folks, and another thing too, we talk about the fighting and the beating and all this kind of stuff, but that isn't the way most of the people that go to the schools are. Most of the people that go there for conditioning. When we went there, they had the CCFA had their class, their yearly Christmas party the other night, and there was three people, right, that lost over 100 pounds.
Yeah.
3 people that lost over 100 pounds. 3 guys just come in, train, and lost over 100 pounds just by going, working their hands, rolling around a little bit, no contact, no getting beaten, none of that stuff. Just it's basically cardio, kickboxing stuff.
They're learning an art form, learning self-defense, and they're getting in top shape.
And self-discipline. That's what that's the other thing that helps.
It's awesome, man.
Yeah, awesome. It all goes hand in hand. So listen, Mike, I was looking. I wanted to see the rankings because I know like Shaney got ranked on the amateur. They have amateur rankings. They have pro rankings. So on Mass MMA, which is a highly respected site, if you want to learn any information, you go on to Mass MMA and you take a look and you see what the rankings are, and you can find out a lot of other things too. It's just cool. But I went on to Northeast MMA, and that's one that's run by Denny Siggins. We did a show with him once, and then he started to do these weird things where he wanted to have these big shows where you could come as a school and you could set up a table, but you couldn't sell anything. You had to demonstrate for free. He tried to turn a perfectly good website into a money-making, episode. So he was taking it from the media, MMA media outlet, I guess you call it, that we had, and tried to turn it into a money-making entity. And what happened? I went on and it's gone.
Belly up, bro. No explanation. I don't know. I can't answer that because all I can tell you is that the people that I've talked to in the know just said he just got up and folded and didn't give anyone an explanation.
I'm not doing this to kick anybody when they're down. I'm just doing it to kind of know what's going on.
Yeah, we don't know.
We don't know because it was at one time Joe Lazone, I believe, built the website and ran it, and it was a great thing.
Sure.
It just told you anything you wanted to know about MMA, any of the people in the area. Then Denny Siggins bought it. Joe got too busy with his career, bought it, went off, and was doing his career in his school and everything else. But then Denny Siggins took it over. I think was it after he fought you when you beat him?
Yes, and then he trained with us for a little while, and then he took the website over, and then had when he wanted to do that whatever the thing, exhibition thing.
Yeah, it's an expo. We wanted to do an expo and have, it was just a farce.
Yeah, we didn't really see eye to eye, and he kind of left. And then after when he left, he kind of like, he would definitely, let's put it this way, he wouldn't stab CCFA directly, but it was like aggressive, passive.
Well, I guess what it was is he just wouldn't say anything about the school at all, which is sad because
very biased.
Like he said in the beginning on this show, because I watched the show, he said that he came to this school because it was the best school around, and you beat him, and he wanted to learn from the best guys. Then when he left, he wasn't getting the support from CCFA and the guys on his new venture because CCFA and a lot of the people don't want into politics. They don't want to get on board with something like this, and and didn't he start to want to charge like $300-400 or something just to have your name on the website or something?
I think a little more than that.
Yeah, I think it was more than that, but it was taking the people that took care of you and all of a sudden, it was one of these guys that got into the sport, kind of like that Smokey guy there. He got into the sport, learned a little bit everywhere, and then tried to suck everything out of it. He didn't put his time in. He didn't learn everything he needed to do. He just tried to kind of steal stuff from the sport.
Yeah, I think Denny stepped on a lot of toes around here, and I would like to know. I'm not saying does he deserve to give everyone a explanation.
Well, you get what you put in.
I don't know, but
yeah.
I know one thing. He just, like you said, it bellied up, and he didn't leave any explanation, and I guess that's it.
All right, well, he's over and gone. We'll never see him again. He's done. So if the people out there want to see, we already mentioned Mass MMA,
Western Mass, guys.
Mass. Yeah, what's the name of that website?
Western Mass with
How would you get on it? Western Mass MMA?
Yes.
Western Mass MMA.
Yeah, a bunch of great guys, and then Tommy Evans is starting a website too.
What's that called?
And I think it's Regional Sports. I could be wrong, but Regional Sports. It's out there. Tommy's a student of mine, a friend of mine too. So between those three.
So for now, we'll say Western Mass and Mass MMA. We'll find out more about Tommy's thing. We will know, I know that these two because I've seen them, so I'll promote them and say they're great guys. If you want the stuff, you want information on MMA, local events, what's going on, ask about people.
Yeah.
You can get on forums and talk MMA if you want to. Go to those two places. There's some are really nasty too. Some are really ragtime.
Well, Mass MMA. I mean, those are the original guys. Dan Bernal.
Well, here you go.
Guys.
Here you go. Now, Joe Lazone actually built Mass MMA for these guys.
I believe he did.
He did.
And he, Joe's really good with computers, I guess.
Yeah, and you got some higher referee type of guys that are running in the background too.
Besides arm bars, Joe's good with computers also.
Yeah.
And he won his last fight also against Max Danzig. So congrats, Joe, on that.
Nice. All right, folks. Well, I think we covered a lot. Hopefully, we can fit it all in. I'm going to try and get back to you next week with Mike Polvea so that we can talk more about the Cage Titans event. And then throughout the year, we're going to have a bunch more MMA fighters come in and a bunch more officials and everything else. So stay with us for the year 2014. And thanks for coming to another episode with Michael the Hammer Mulligan and Michael Loco Lobo Gresh.
Hammer.
Come back again later.